Hello, how are you? I'm going to do something really different this week because I've been speaking to quite a lot of you this week, and you know what, I think this 7 weeks or 8 weeks now in lockdown is actually having quite a big impact on us. I think at first it was like real novelty and what's going on, and now it really feels like we're in it for the long haul. And even though the government are announcing plans to relax the lockdown, I think we all know that it's not going to be a return to what was normal life. And some of you have said to me that you feel a bit guilty because you haven't found the time to do an hour class or get on your mat. And it's really important for me to share with you that you know what, you've got to do what's right for you. So you don't always have to get on the mat to feel that you've done something. So what I'm going to share with you today is a really quick session where you don't even have to get out of your chair. Now, it's not strictly Pilates, so I'll add that caveat, but it's some really good stretches around our necks and our shoulders, and it's where we hold a lot of tension, especially when we're working at our desks a lot. And I hear from many of you that you feel that where some of you have been furloughed, you're actually now using that time to spend on your computer doing some research or some development for yourself, which is great. But actually those of you that are still working and trying to do homeschooling and trying to run the house and negotiate with your partners how you're going to keep the household going, you're actually working extended hours or really flexible hours, so working in the evenings and early mornings. So this is all having an impact on our shoulders and our necks, and it's also where we hold stress. So, quick session. What we're going to do is do 10 of my favourite neck and shoulder exercises, and we're going to hold them. So it's really going to be a relaxing session. So what do you need? You just need a chair, and you need just to grab some time for yourself. And you know what? If you only get to watch the first 5 minutes and do this in 5-minute increments, that's absolutely okay. All right. Shall we get started? So the very first thing I would say is try to make sure that your feet are on the floor and you've got a really upright back and that you're keeping that chin tucked in. And the first exercise we're going to do is just slowly taking that neck over to our left hand side, and then just giving it a little bit of gentle pressure. It's only to be feeling a little stretch here. It's not to feel painful. And we're just going to hold that. Now, you're not pulling on that head. It's the time that we're going to spend holding this pose that's actually going to be the challenge as that time rolls on. Okay, what do you need to be checking? Firstly, it's your breathing. Use this time to get some really great breaths in. Just bring awareness to you finding any sensations here that's discomfort. And don't change or come out of the pose. Don't sort of change the movement, but just bring awareness, because it's your body's kind of personal instructor, your personal tutor, telling you, hey, there's a sensation here, we need to be mindful of this. Maybe we need to work it more, relax it more. Okay, what are your shoulders doing? Just make sure you can just get them down a little bit further down the back. Let those shoulder blades really melt into their pockets. And then very gently just remove the hand first and take the head into an upright position. We're going to flip that over and go over the other side. So gently take the ear to the right, and using your right hand without too much pressure, but challenge a little bit. Enjoy this stretch. Now, I'm intentionally trying to keep my instructions to a minimal, just so that I can create some headspace for you guys. and some silence just to enjoy. Just bring your awareness. I'm getting a slight tingling in my shoulder blades here doing this, because I know that I hold a lot of stress in my neck and shoulders. I've had a really, really stressful sort of 8 weeks. So I know I'm particularly tight here at the moment. Just watch that breath. Make sure that you're not shallow breathing, that you're taking this opportunity to really get that breath down into that diaphragm. So really taking some good deep breaths, making that diaphragm do some work. Just checking with your shoulders. Have they risen up to the ears? Because if they have, just, oh, mine have. If they have, just slowly melt them down your back. Okay, remove the hand and then bring the head up to center. Both sides of your neck should really feel like quite alive now. So we're going to just slightly intensify that stretch. You're going to take your left hand and you're going to hook it and just hold onto your chair, okay? So best position is just slightly behind you, but if that's uncomfortable, you can take your hand and have it right by the side of your thigh. I'm going to actually take my hand and put it just behind me on my chair, keeping my back upright, keeping my chin tucked in, shoulders back. This time I'm taking the chin up to the opposite shoulder, okay? So my right ear down to that right shoulder. And it's being intensified. I'm maximising and leveraging that stress by holding onto the chair. So the more you stretch that neck over and grip the chair, the more you should feel that stretch coming into the shoulder. And breathe. What sensations are you feeling? I'm wondering if you're feeling any discomfort between the shoulder blades. Which means when we do one of the stretches later on in this little session, you're going to really appreciate it. I'm aware this shoulder's desperately trying to creep up to my ear. And if you find that as well, there's nothing wrong with taking your right hand and just taking it down. This is a really strong stretch, even though it feels like we're not really doing very much. Okay, one more breath. Oh, bring that neck to center. Just bring that arm in front. You might just want to just shake that hand out and that arm. Let's do the other side. So you can take your hand and you can hold right next to your body. I like to slightly intensify it and just hold behind the body. It's completely up to you. Listen to what your internal personal trainer is telling you. That's what your body's there for. That's what those sensations do. So take a hold of the chair as the chin rises and the left ear goes to the left shoulder. Melt those shoulders down. straight away this feels totally different than the other side. And if you feel the shoulder is lifting, actually mine's not too bad, but you can use the opposite hand just to pull that shoulder down. Check this one as well, that you're not hunching up or moving it forward. Gently push it back. Really deep breaths here. Now, I don't often get the opportunity to do this in a class, so I'm actually really enjoying it. Usually we jump right in. So if I was in a class and we were doing this, I would definitely just be looking to see if you were even, so you were sitting upright, you weren't too much creating an arch in your lower back, you weren't popping your belly and your ribs forward either. Just be checking that those shoulders hadn't rolled forward or rolled up. And just making sure that you were breathing. Okay, release the side of the chair first and gently, there's just no rush here, bring that neck to neutral and just give that arm a little shake. Okay, we're just going to do some chin dips. So it's very, very straightforward. Time again will intensify the challenge of this move, so try not to be patient. Also, I say try to be patient and not too impatient with this, because it does feel like it's a very, very passive move. So firstly, drop your hands into your lap and then bow your head, dropping that chin, so dipping that chin to the chest. And we're going to stay like this, ensuring that our shoulders are back and down, and breathe. Now if you feel you've got a little bit more space to just bow that head just a little bit deeper, breathe into that space. But if you feel you can only bow to here, that's absolutely fine. This is all about your body. This is all about your stretch. It's all about your time. So you do what's right for you in this moment. Just keep checking on those shoulders. If it helps for the last couple of breaths, you can close your eyes and imagine yourself to be anywhere that feels great for you. Taking those shoulders back and down if you need to. So just keep bringing the awareness. Shoulders, belly, back breath. Okay, if you've got your eyes closed, gently open them. And then bring the head back to centre. Okay, let's do some head shoulders. Let's do some head circles. You can see I'm quite stressed and tired today. I'm getting all my words muddled. So yeah, I think we're all in the same place, some of us, aren't we? So let's do some head circles just to get some real mobility into that neck. Okay, here we go. So your feet now can be a little bit apart, they can be together. I like to put my hands on my thighs, totally up to you. You might want to be able to put your hands on your waist, whatever feels the most relaxing for you. And we're just going to dip the chin down, over to the left, back to the side and round. Now we do this a lot in class, and I often say, listen out for that snap, crackle, pop. Okay, one more this way, and when you get back the chin to chest, we're going to go the other way. Oh, my snap, crackle and pops are so loud. It wouldn't surprise me if you could hear them. Now, just make sure those shoulders haven't risen up to your ears. This is such a great one to do every day. Really getting that full mobility of the neck. Okay, make this one your last one. And when the chin comes back to the chest, just raise the head really slowly. There's no rush. Back to centre. Okay, what I'd like you to do now is take your right arm in front of you, palm facing down. You're then going to rotate the arm so that your palm is facing towards the left hand wall, and you're going to bring that arm across your body. At this stage, check your shoulders. They need to be down and not hunched up to your ears. So down those shoulders go. And then take the left arm and just hook the right arm into the inside of your elbow. And it enables you to, one, pull that shoulder down, but then pull that arm closer into the body. Okay, you should be feeling this in your right shoulder blade, and we're going to hold this and breathe through it. Again, because we're holding this posture and this pose, what will enable the challenge is the time we're holding it. We often race through movements, and in fact, the real beauty and magic of some of the movements in Pilates or yoga or any stretching is the fact that actually we take our time and we hold it. And we just keep checking that intensity. Have we created space to bring the arm a little bit closer to our body? Do we need to drop that shoulder a bit more? Which those that know me and comes to my class know I always can find that little bit of extra space. My shoulders think they belong right up by their ears. They have done ever since I was a kid. So I'm constantly having to bring them back down. Okay, now this is quite an intense stretch. I'm really feeling it in my shoulder blade now. Hope you are too, because when we release this, oh, it's glorious. But just be aware what other sensations you might be feeling in your body. So any tingling in the fingers, in the palms? Is there tightness all across the shoulder blades? Just check your back. Is it still straight, or have you created a kind of exaggerated arch in your lower back? If so, just bring that navel to the spine. You know, use those core muscles to support your lower back. if anyone's shaking, just lessen the distance between your arm and the body. So just take it away a bit, okay? Or drop this and just hold. We are going to hold it for just a little bit more because the shoulders love this. Okay, very gently lower the left hand, bring that right arm back in front of you and then lower. And you might just want to give that little shake up and down. Oof, wow, I definitely felt that. So, got to do the other side. So, left arm goes out in front. If you haven't done already, just rotate the arm so that the palm is facing to the opposite wall. You're going to bring that arm across, really make sure that shoulder's down, and then using your right arm you're going to just hook the arm into that inner elbow and see if you've got a bit more space to bring the left arm closer to your body. Make sure that shoulder's dropped. This for me feels different already. There's a lot more mobility and flexibility on this side, which makes sense actually because I use my right shoulder for my shoulder bag, which basically has the whole contents of Sainsbury's in it generally. So I'm always carrying a massive weight on my shoulder bag, which I know is a no-no, but I still do it, as I think most of us do. So just be aware, are you tighter one side rather than the other? And is that the side you're kind of lugging your whole life's possessions around with? Saying that, we haven't really gone out a lot. I've hardly been out at all. Actually, this is a really good opportunity to declutter my handbag and get rid of all the stuff that's in there. Okay, just check your chin position there, that you're not jutting out too far. You might want to drop your chin or just tuck it in a little bit. Is there any more space to drop the shoulder and just bring the arm closer into the body? Just bring your awareness to other sensations you might be feeling. Let's just take one more breath in and out. Release that right hand down, take the left arm back out in front of you and then drop. And you might just want to shake that arm up and down or do some little rolls. Oh, that is such a good stretch, isn't it? Okay. We're going to do a few more intense stretches like that, but just let's give ourselves a little break for a minute. Let's just place our hands onto our shoulders and then we're going to move the arms around. Okay, so this is really great for our rotator cuffs. And by holding those shoulders, it actually brings awareness to the fact that, are they rising up while we're doing this? So try and get full mobility. Can you take them out to the sides a bit more? Can you take it to the back a bit more? So really opening up that collarbone as well. So really make this quite dynamic. Shoulders back and forward. Okay, let's go the other way. Okay, I can feel my shoulders going this way round, really trying to creep up to my ears. I'm wondering if you're noticing any difference by doing it, the different rotation. Our bodies are never the same one side to the other. Often get more strength in one side, stiffness in another. Okay, that should have woken up our shoulders enough to do the next movement, which is quite a strong movement. So I'm going to give you a couple of variations and modifications, especially if you're really tight around the shoulders. So, first of all, what I'd like you to do is just take your arms out in front of you. Okay, so shoulders down, chin slightly tucked in as usual. So here we go. We're going to take the left arm over the right, and then if you can, you're going to get your right fingers onto your left palm. Now if that's not possible, you can just hold the arms apart like this, or maybe even try and get the backs of the palms together. So wherever you're at, find what's kind of comfortable, and then you're going to slightly bring that left hand forward and raise the elbows. Now we're going to stay in this pose, so if you feel that you're already at 100% stretch, just knock it off a bit by maybe bringing that left hand in, maybe dropping a little bit, because we're going to hold it, and you might want to move into the challenge rather than starting off at that 100% challenge. Now really breathe through this. Now if you can challenge yourself, do so. Try and take those elbows up a little bit higher, that left hand just a little bit further in front. But if you already feel that you're feeling a little bit of discomfort, you can change the pose and just bring your hands onto your shoulders. So whatever right for you at this point in time. And you can use this moment to actually engage your core muscles, just bringing that navel to spine to really support your back while you're doing this as well. Very gently release the palms, take the hands out in front and just drop them for a moment, or just do a little bit of rotation there, because you know we've got to do it on the other side, right? Oh, that is so good. Okay, you ready? So, deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to just float those arms up, and this time it's the right arm that goes over the left. Now you can stay like this, you can put the palms together, and if you can, get your left hand fingers onto that right palm, okay? Okay, we're going to stay. So if you're already at 100% feeling it across the shoulder blades, just ease it off, drop it down a bit. If you're not feeling anything at all, you can challenge yourself by raising those elbows, dropping the hands forward just a little bit. And we're going to hold it here. This is much tighter for me this side. So just bring your awareness, what are you noticing? And notice what you're noticing. Give a few more breaths. Okay, uncross those arms. Okay, or give a couple of shoulder rolls there. Right, let's just do a little bit of a counter movement for that. So I'm going to go side on, okay, just so you can see what I'm doing. So I hope you can still see me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my chin tucked in, so no jutting out. That's really important because we're going to be working those shoulder blades. So keeping that chin in, you're going to take your arms behind you and then just hold on. So hold on either to the elbows or hold on to the lower arms, okay? And then you're going to squeeze those shoulder blades together. Hold. And release. So we're going to do that a couple of times. We're going to extend the time that we hold it in. This is really great, especially if you're like me and my shoulders have naturally been sort of rolling forward for a really long time. So when I was younger, I was really sort of self-conscious of having sort of like bigger boobs than most of my mates. So that kind of position of walking around like this became the absolute norm. Unfortunately, it now doesn't give me the best posture. So thank goodness for stretches and Pilates. So, arms behind our back. Now let's just do a check here. We really do need to engage that core. So if you pull the spine to the navel to give us a really nice strong back, where they're going to squeeze those shoulder blades together behind us, obviously. And we're going to hold. Now don't hunch those shoulders while you're doing this. And if you can intense that squeeze, well, go ahead and do it. Be my guest. My shoulder blades don't like this at all. Okay, just let it go, just relax it a bit. Oh. Okay, deep breath in. And on the exhale, you really squeeze those shoulder blades, taking those shoulders back. As you kind of relax into this, as you breathe, just see if it allows you any more space to increase that stretch. That squeezing can become just a little bit more intensified if you just stretch and squeeze those blades together. But if it's uncomfortable, don't do it. And don't lose the form of your straight back and your core just to try and get that extra squeeze between the shoulder blades. We're going to hold this just a little bit longer. That's where the challenge is. And always feel free to kind of move within the movement. So, you know, you just probably noticed me move. I was aware that I'd kind of arched my back a little bit. You know, our body tends to kind of default back to the posture that we always tend to have. So don't feel that you've got into a space and that's where you've got to stay. You know, be live in that movement. You know, adjust, make it the best movement you possibly can. We're still holding. This is where the challenge is. And release. We're going to do one more. On the exhale, take those shoulders back. Make this the best squeeze yet. Okay, gently unsqueeze the shoulder blades and gently bring your arms back out in front. Okay, so we've got two more, and one's more of a rest pose as well, where we're going to use a desk as well. So let's just do the very last active stretch, where we're going to take those arms out in front and overhead, which is really lovely after we've had them behind our backs. We're going to interlace our fingers and we're going to push the palms to the ceiling whilst we pull those shoulders down. Just make sure your chin isn't jutting out, and then just stretch over to the left and to centre, over to the right and to centre, over to the left and to centre. Now keep those hands high. So if you suddenly feel like you've come down here, just really engage the strength of those arms to keep them up and over your head. Just be aware that you're not coming forward as well. So over we go to the right. Exhale, return to centre. Can you see I keep checking that position of my hands so they're not creeping forward? You're probably going to have to do the same. Shoulders down for me, probably for you too. One more each side. And to centre. Exhale over to the left. Deep breath in, exhale to centre, and float those hands down into your lap. Okay, so the next stretch we're going to need a desk, and this is a real kind of relaxation stretch as well. So great, you need to clear the decks first, which I did obviously before I turned the camera on, and you're going to cross your arms over. So I've crossed my left over my right. It doesn't matter which way you start off with. And you're going to place those arms on the desk. You might need to scoot your chair back. So I'm on wheels, I'm on casters. If you're not, you might just need to get your position first. I don't want you scraping any of your wooden floors. So really cross those arms over using that desk as a support, and then just drop the head down and relax. if you could get a little bit more space, a little bit more of a stretch, so the palms are really facing upwards or facing down, it doesn't matter. But just see if you can really imagine that you're being pulled each side, but the neck is nice and relaxed. You could even rest the chin on the upper arm. Oh, that's such a lovely stretch. Don't really want that one to end. Okay, then cross over the other way. So this time my right arm is going over my left. I'm using that table to really enable me to get the most out of this stretch. My palms can go up or they can face down. It really doesn't matter. And your chin drops down, or you can even put your cheek on that upper arm. Okay, and very slowly lifting that head. Oh, I'm crossing those arms. Oh, my shoulders love that. So, they're my top 10 neck and shoulder stretches for you. And I hope you've enjoyed it. And I think the message that I'd really just love to get over and get across to you is that don't feel guilty if you can't get on a mat for an hour. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. That's going to be great if that's all you can do. Be kind to yourself, look after yourselves and your families, and until next week, take care.